I appreciate the detail. This series was made possible by the help of our patrons. More at the end of this video. Hey guys! California Macky here, hope you're doing well, and welcome to Psychic Connections, a game that I just recently found, and will be a part of our, 12 Days of Yaoi, and this looks beautiful. Update is available for patrons. It includes 12k words of Aiden's and Elliot's routes. If you're not a patron yet, you can become one. Oh, that's something to consider. Fuck, the music's beautiful. Extras. Is there something about... Okay, there's not. Continue? Okay, they're empty. New game. I'm going in blind. It feels like I've been driving forever. So dark. So dark and dreary. I can't afford to stop. Could you even see? I can't let myself be here. We're so tired. If I could just... Were you walking aimlessly in the woods? Who? Jesus. Okay. I jolt awake, gasping for air. Yeah, me too. Thanks. Thanks, game. Thanks. Thanks so much. It was just a dream. It's been a while since I had a nightmare about back then. From what I've been told, I was in a car wreck that landed me in a coma for almost 2 years. Hold on. Let me make sure of something. Good, I have both audio tracks. Good. Goody gumdrops. When I finally came to, my memory was spotty at best. As time went on, most of what I'd forgotten came back to me. Meanwhile, I underwent about 6 months of grueling physical therapy. It was hell, but I rather that over an extended period in a wheelchair. Fair. I can agree with that. Thankfully, I was able to get my high school diploma throughout the entire process. With some help, my dad was able to set me up for a college scholarship as a result of my situation. Still not sure about how being a charity case, but I don't think I could have expected a full ride anywhere with my grades. Okay. And considering the price of tuition in college, you lucked out, but it's also, yeah, I can sympathize. Now I'm completely recovered, save for a scar on the back of my head and nightmares that I barely remember when I wake up. I've officially started college today. The stress of it all is probably why I had that dream again. I was barely awake for orientation yesterday. The trip took too much out of me, so I just crashed when I got to my room. I should probably check the time. 10:09. I definitely won't miss waking up early for high school. It doesn't look like I have any new messages from Dad. No surprise there. You'd think he'd have been more worried about this baby boy. Unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for him to return to being a relatively uninvolved parent. Ow! Burn! The least he could do is tell me if I need to get a freaking job while I'm out here. Now that I'm a bit more awake, I should probably log into the website mentioned at orientation. Looks like I need to create an account still. I should have done this yesterday. Oh well, no time like the present. First name, default Mason. Can I change it? Oh, I type in the box, right. I'll call myself Recto Prolapse. They already have my classes listed into a schedule. I barely even remember what I signed up for. It looks like I have an English class in a few hours. I forgot what the screenshots were like. I wasn't expecting this, actually. Oh, this is one of those games. No. Jeez, I'm getting flooded with Sprunk page notifications. I guess one of my friends posted an update. Seems like Henry's doing pretty good at school. He was one of those only one to reach out to me after I'd woken up. I guess the others felt too awkward to message the coma guy. Hold on, give me a minute. I want to try something. Alright, he was the only one to reach out to me after I'd woken up. I guess the others felt too awkward to message the coma guy. I was pretty thankful to have him help me catch up on everything I'd missed. I wish I could have gone to this school so that I have someone nearby, but we ended up on opposite ends of the country, so I can't really lean on him where I am. He's a junior now, and I'd probably be one too if not for... Aw, poor Rectal. I instantly regret changing my name to Rectal. I flopped my phone back down to the bed, letting my eyes stare lazily up at the bare ceiling. I appreciate the detail. The bare ceiling, it all feels so surreal. In what had felt like seconds, my entire life changed. My mom and dad had split, and all my friends left while I slept. Friends still feel strange not to have anyone. Ah, baby boy, no. No, don't be like that. I don't know if I can do it. Someone's at the door? I guess I better put on some pants and leave the existential crisis stuff for later. Shuffling my jeans on, I moved to open the door, but... Oh, hey there, you're Rectal, right? Can I help you? I'm almost positive I've never seen this girl before, and I don't know how she can have a key to my room, but I'm glad I at least got to put pants on before she opened the door. Yeah. My name's Zoe. I'm the RA for this floor, just doing my duties and making sure you've moved in alright. Zoe brushes past me, letting herself into my room, and begins looking around. Yes, please, just let yourself in. Don't mind if I do. I'm still a bit groggy, so I could be wrong, but I don't think she's allowed to just waltz into my room like this. Yeah... But, you know, eh. Looks like you lucked out on not getting assigned a roommate. Still a little empty though, ain't it? I stared at her blankly. I just got here. Did she expect me to have this place decked out or something? She looks at my desk and pats it off as if to dust it before using it as a seat, rather than the chair right next to the desk. Hey, it's your room, don't sweat it. I'm just pulling your leg. College is a huge step, so don't stress too much and go at your own pace. Since I'm here, do you have any questions for me? Right, she's an RA. She'd likely know a lot about the campus. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Well, on campus, there are a couple of spots worth your time. The library is open, probably the ideal study location. They enforce a strict low-volume policy. You mean they do more than loudly shush people? I just realized. There we go. A little bit more balanced. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's just say if you need to check out books for a class or use the media center to print something, I recommend staying on the librarian's good side. I question what someone would have to do to justify banning them from using open school resources like the library, but considering the RAs can just let themselves into dorm rooms, I shouldn't question something like that either. I'll keep that in mind. There are a few open plots of grass and a couple good running trails all around campus if you're an outdoorsy type, although if you do prefer to exercise inside, I'm told we have a pretty good gym. It's usually pretty comfortable most of the time, but it gets packed with though in the winter months. There is a variety of equipment, and there are some vending machines with low-calorie snacks and supplements. Speaking of food, I think they said something about a dining hall at orientation. Oh wait, that was me. Dining hall at orientation. Yeah, though if I'm being honest, I can't recommend the food there. You'd honestly be better off getting food from literally anywhere else. It can't be that bad. Well, one of the chefs on staff is very eccentric. He likes to experiment with the meals. But if you don't believe me, you're free to experience it yourself. Just make sure you record it for me if you do. Personally, I recommend you explore the campus. I don't know much about you, so I can't really speak to where you'd like to go. Do you have any other questions? What program are you studying in? Me? Well, I'm a business major with a to-be-determined minor. I'm hoping to take over my dad's business when he retires, and it seemed like a good place to start. What kind of business does he run? It's a sort of support group for individuals with unique needs. Suppose that's part of the reason I picked up on being an RA, so I could get more experience interacting with different people. What about you? What are you here to study? I'm not too sure yet. Look, dude. I figured I'd cover my general education credits while I figured that out. How come when I applied to university, we couldn't get like a general floating course? We had to choose a course right off the bat. That would have saved me time because you know what? I started engineering, failed 3 years in a row before I moved to communication arts. But before that, there was like 1 or 2 years of me studying in European languages, which I failed gratuitously. I feel cheated. But you know, I don't have student debt, so there's that. Actually, I'm fine with that. I don't have student debt anymore. I was able to pay it off, and it was significantly lower compared to, for say, if you decide to study in the US or Canada. I'm fortuitous that I got, going back. There's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping your options open, which is smart. Just don't be that dumb junior in 2 years that declares a random major because it seemed to... Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Do you have any other questions? How does one become an RA? Oh, are you interested in being an RA? I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not even really sure what an RA does. But I'm going more positive you shouldn't have been able to get in my room. To be honest, it isn't anything special. We maintain dorm life and try to assist students with their needs while they live on campus. Simplify, we clean the dormitory building and make sure none of the students have any banned substances. I'd also be your point of contact if you got too inebriated at a party and didn't have a sober driver. Have you ever had to do that before? Only for students that didn't have any other friends to call. If you were interested in being an RA, I can tell you now that you won't be able to become one. Why not? It's a position only held by upperclassmen, so I'm afraid you'd need to be here at least a year freshie. Something about being called freshlies feels demeaning, though maybe it's because I'm having trouble looking at Zoe as my upperclassman. Do you have any other questions? I have no more questions. Well, if you think of more questions, don't be afraid to ask. It's my job, after all. Well, you're my last stop today. Well, you're my last stop today. Zoe motions toward the exit, but she pauses, turns to look straight at me. Is there something wrong? No, just... you have interesting eyes. Is she yelling at me? If so, I'm flattered, but she's sort of lacking the main things I like in a guy, like being a guy. Thanks? Hey, here's the thought. Why don't you come check out the club fair with me? Beg your pardon? Yeah, it's this big cluster of clubs that try to recruit new members during the first week of each semester. I remember that in my life. Oh, God. Actually, I still am. In the closet, and the queer club. I forgot the name of it, but I wanted to join, so I tried to attend, but then family life made it hard. I was living by family in college. Yeah, they wouldn't let me attend dorms, and apartments were very hard, so I just commuted across the city. Not even the city, it's like 3 cities. I had to take the tram, yeah. A whole week, isn't that a little much? Probably, but I'm sure you'll find a lot of people here take their extracurriculars seriously. I'm not so sure, I just got here and I don't know if joining some club the moment I hit campus is the smartest thing. It can be pretty overwhelming, so I thought it could be your tour guide. Trust me, they really start at the start of the year. There's things to meet, schedules to do. It can be pretty overwhelming, so I thought I could be your tour guide. But yeah, extracurriculars are fine, but you need to pass a fucking major. But your extracurriculars will help add up to your resume. And your credentials. And your experience. And your social skills. So, finding the balance is the hard part. Trust me. Trust me. It's a lot of fun and a great opportunity to meet people too. Why would you want to be my tour guide? Why does anybody do anything ever? Because we're bored. I'm always looking for new friends. The players are pretty funny, so I think I'd have a good time hanging out with you. You think I'm funny? I don't remember making any jokes. That's because you're kinetically funny and you don't even realize it. What does that mean? It means the things you do are funny rather than the things you say. Like, for example, your fly's been down this whole time. Fly, you're not even wearing pants. You in your underwear. I grab the zipper and yank it upward. I look up at the panda before me, who just snickers. We've been talking for a few minutes and she just now pointed it out. See, you're kinetically funny. Plus, I hate it when people stay cooped up in their dorm rooms all day when they could be out living life. Like, really, what's there to do inside that you couldn't do with the others? I can think of one thing, but after what just happened, I probably shouldn't make that joke, assuming she isn't already thinking that's what I was doing. She's looking at me expectantly. I couldn't hurt to check out the extracurriculars, and I don't exactly have a reason to say no here. I guess it'd be fine. Awesome, you won't regret it. Let's get going. She's yanking my arm, pulling me out of my room towards the stairs. It's not until she starts telling me about when she'd gotten lost last week that I start questioning my life choices. This is going to be a long day. The walk to the fair was pretty short. Zoe kept telling me more about campus life and things to look out for. Seriously, frat parties are the worst. By the end of it, everyone's completely shit-faced. Not to mention any guys you meet there are just trying to get in your pants. Really? All of them? No, not all of them, but most of the people I've met at those things were just looking for a quick hookup. She stops for a brief moment and begins looking around us. In an instant, she's running towards one of the tables. I'm standing awkwardly as I watch her go. Should I have followed her or... Hey, Rectal, get over here. Why don't you meet somebody? Aiden, this is Rectal. He's a new student, so I thought I'd guide him through the club fair. I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, Rectal. The wolf before me extends his hand outward, and I give him mine in turn. His grip is firm, almost stiff. I look him in the eyes, and his gaze meets mine. I don't know if I've ever met someone with more piercing eyes. Aiden here is the president of the student government and probably the most knowledgeable person here. She said this proudly. Looking at Aiden, I'd say he looks the part. He almost looks princely somehow, though that might just be because his clothes look like they might be worth more than my phone. Well, I'm sure that's true. I don't think it's fair to boast, given my status. His eyes return their focus on me, but somehow it feels like he isn't necessarily looking at me, but through me. I hope Zoe hasn't been giving you a hard time. She has a tendency to go overboard. While I think I understand where he's coming from, I can't say Zoe has done anything particularly intrusive. She's been pretty cool so far. Not everyone is willing to help out a stranger, after all. That's certainly true. Maybe she's gotten better at first impressions then. That's an interesting look. I wonder if Zoe made a bad impression on him when the two met. If she ever does go overboard, be sure to let me know and I'll put a stop to it. Aiden, you make me sound like some kind of wild child. To think it was going to be my treat today. Of the kindness of your heart, I can't believe I never noticed how generous you were, Zoe. Not sure what I would have done if you hadn't paid for my coffee today. Why, I'd like to have gone mad. I'm sure you didn't have an ulterior motive for trying to get on my good side today either. Well, now that you mention it, I just remembered I promised to help the a cappella team set up their table. So I'm sure you wouldn't mind showing Recto around while I do that. Zoe doesn't even give Aiden a chance to protest. She bolts off deeper into the fair, disappearing into the labyrinth of makeshift stands of people. Wait, did I seriously get dragged out of my room by someone I just met only to get ditched and left in the care of a complete stranger? Yep. I need to start reevaluating the choices I make that put me in these situations. She's acting worse than last year. Sorry about her. As I said, she's a bit all over the place. He sighs, but it's not a normal sigh. Rather, it's the sigh of a broken man forced into similar situations on a regular basis. I pity him. It's time for my break anyway, so how about I show you around? Are you really sure you want to spend your break doing more work? It's fine, I need to stretch my legs anyway. Besides, it would be very unbecoming of me to not support my juniors. He proceeds to guide me through the fair. Occasionally we stop at the table and I learn a bit more about some of the clubs. He's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to involvement and reputation of the various clubs, though that probably comes with being the student body president. I'm just gonna call it student body. Government's like a mouthful. So we've looked at quite a few so far. Any of them catch your interest? I'm not sure. Some of these guys seem a bit extra. Are you sure none of these are actually cults in disguise? I must watch too many movies. Some of the students are just overzealous in their recruiting methods. If there was a cult at the school, I think I'd know. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Sure. Great! I'm currently looking for new members for our club. Opening personalized emotion networks are open for short. We seek to connect with like-minded individuals, defining their inner selves as we shed mortal boundaries on our quest towards You were saying about that cult? What exactly does that entail? I'm so glad you asked. We actually have several information guides on our activities if you're interested. They hand me a pamphlet detailing several retreats in which members find themselves to remove all doubt from their existence. I'm not sure this is for me, but thank you. I understand. Keep the brochure in case you change your mind. You were saying about cults? Just stop. Let's just check out the culinary team's table. It leads me over to a line of people chattering away at each other. I count at least a dozen people in front. I'm not exactly interested in cooking, though. Maybe you can skip this one and check out the table without a line? Don't worry, I doubt anyone in this line is interested in joining the culinary team either. And why? They sell samples of their work in an effort to entice people while also raising funds, so we're just in line to get a bite? Exactly. Jason, the head of the team, made these roasted dumplings last year that were just to die for. It naturally ends in an awkward silence replaces it as we wait in line. The smell wafting from the table up front is beyond enticing. Aiden probably wasn't kidding about how good the food they were serving was. Looking at the wolf next to me, it dawns on me that we've been wandering for a while now and I still don't really know anything about him. He's mostly just talked about school so far and elaborated on the history of some of the clubs. He's very kind for giving me this story, even if it was more or less shoved on him by Zoe. I feel like I should be asking more about him, but I don't even know where to start. I've never had much luck when it comes to talking to attractive guys. So, Zoe seems to have taken quite an interest in you. I just realized I've been channeling Click, the YouTuber Click, as I was reading this guy. His lines. So, Zoe seems to have taken quite an interest in you. Huh? Oh yeah, I guess she has. She was quite insistent on me coming out. Is she really like that with everyone she meets? Oh, do not worry, my friend. No, she's actually pretty reserved with most people, but if she meets someone special, she tends to drop that facade. Really, what makes someone special? Hard to say. I guess some people have a unique quality. If she happens to see that quality in you, you're pretty much stuck with her. A unique quality, huh? It's a bit weird to think someone might act differently around you based on the assumption they have about you. I don't really even know what Zoe thinks she sees in me, unless I'm supposed to assume Aiden is also kinetically funny. My eyes drift towards where his fly would be. Yoink! No hints yet! Realizing what I'm doing, I force my eyes back up forwards to meet Aiden's gaze. So has Zoe also seen a unique quality in you? Unfortunately, yes. We met while our parents were having a meeting, and she's been stuck to me ever since. Wow, so how long have you two known each other? About 10 years, I suppose. So did you go to high school together then? No, I went to private school while she... He pauses mid-sentence, seemingly catching himself. He stares at me for a moment before he speaks again. You're actually pretty sly, aren't you? Trying to learn more about Zoe from one of her friends to raise your chances with her. No. You have the wrongest impression, my guy. No, maybe I should just correct him and tell him gay. Might be better to avoid confusion. So I was just curious and trying to keep the conversation going. Sorry, I just thought I'd try pulling your leg a bit. You seemed a bit uncomfortable, is all. He's not wrong, though I can't say I feel as tense as I did when we started touring around. I thought I'd been pretty sociable, but it must have still come across as nervous somehow. Howdy, what can I get you? He walks forward, letting his eyes scan the selection they have available. Veggie kebabs, mini pot pies, and a lightly sugared jelly donuts. He bobs his head back and forth as if weighing the options in his mind. I think I need a minute to think. Recto, you go ahead while I decide. Sure thing. Mini pot pies were the first thing I smelled upon approaching the table, and would no doubt be the most filling. Okay, that'll be $4, cash or card. I moved to grab my wallet, but Aiden places a hand on my shoulder to stop me. Don't worry about it, let me treat you. I'm sure you might be my tour guide, but you don't have to pay for me. It's not a big deal, honestly I want to. He then orders a meat pie for himself and pays for the both of us. The two of us shift out of the line with our food and look for a spot to eat. We settle on a bench sandwich between two club tables. Don't you think we should find somewhere a little less busy? I'd prefer it honestly, but we should have to go to another part of campus to avoid any crowd. Oh wait. Sorry, guess. We would have to. There's no real worry, none of the clubs should bother us if we don't approach them. Definitely a cultist. We offer truly reinventive experiences. Join us at a very quaint and remote farm where the real produce is freedom of the self. Maybe try avoiding eye contact too. Yeah, thanks again, by the way. You didn't have to pay for me. Nonsense. I'm nothing if not a gracious host. He says this proudly. I'm beginning to wonder if Aiden lied when he berated Zoe and Ad actually does like showing off. Speaking of being a good host, do you have any classes today? Zoe and I are getting coffee later, and I'm sure she'd love it if you joined us. Coffee, huh? Can't say I've ever been the biggest cough. Wait, what time is it? Busting my phone out with a quickness, I see that the time has already swept past noon. Crap, Aiden, I'm sorry to do this, but I actually have to get going now if I want to make it to my class. Not a problem. Do you need me to show you where to go? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Well, just in case, hand me your phone real quick. I reluctantly hand Aiden my phone. He proceeds to tap away on the screen. There, now we have each other's numbers. Just text me in case you do end up needing help. I'll let Zoe know you had to dash to your class, and I'll be sure to give her an earful for ditching you earlier. I appreciate it. I turn to leave and pull up my schedule on my phone, which tells me that my class is in Hurlem Hall. Unfortunately, Hurlem Hall is on the other side of campus. With how much time Bitch. I cut corners. I parkoured from math building to College of Human Kinetics. That's like half a kilometer. Bitch, I run. Well, not half a kilometer, quarter kilometer. Anyway, it's at two opposite ends of campus. I fucking run across the rocks, everything. I shortcutted it. I made it there in like 15-20 minutes on foot. If I ride a jeep, it's like 5 minutes. Still, you can do it. And I was lugging around a backpack that weighed half my weight. Or quarter. Can't really remember. I'm probably exaggerating. I can't. After a sprint around the fair, I got to Hurlem Hall and into the classroom with a few minutes to spare. It's a smaller classroom. Fortunately, there are still plenty of seats available, so I grab one of the chairs in the back and catch my breath. You find the classroom okay? How'd I get his face pick? I found it just fine, but I appreciate your offer for help. Glad you found it. While you're still available, you never did answer my earlier question if you wanted to get coffee. I'd love to get coffee. Coffee does sound nice, and I was thinking this morning that I needed to put myself out there if I wanted to make friends. Great, text me when your class is over. I'll let Zoe know. Let me just save real quick. There we go. Do you mind if I sit here? Oh great, a rabbit. I look up from the room, very slender rabbit before me. He looks down at me as he motions towards the seat next to mine. No. No, you don't mind, or no, you don't want me to sit here? No, I don't mind, sorry, I'm just collecting myself. I had to rush to get here on time. Really? Sleeping late or something? Something like that? So I guess if we're gonna be seat buddies, I better ask your name. I feel myself cringing at such a juvenile term, but it would be rude to point it out. It's Rectal, and you are? Nice to meet you, Rectal. Prolapse. My name's Quinn. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to English 101, Introduction to Writing. I'm your professor for this course, Mr. Breyer. Whoops. Ah, coins. The conversation between us ends as Breyer begins handing out and discussing the syllabus. I do my best to pay attention to the explanation. Psst. I know how important it is to know the rules and expectations of the class. Psst. Suddenly the music shifts. Letting myself be distracted would not be a good way to start my academic career as a college student. Psst. What? He looks taken back but quickly shifts into grinning as he slides a piece of paper toward me. I roll my eyes at the bunny and take the paper from him. At first I'm confused by the strange hieroglyphs, only to realize they are in fact English words hidden behind poor penmanship. How old are you? 4? Oh, whoa? Oh, really? Wanna see something more distracting? Is he talking about he can't be? I look up in the button and credits Lacey meets my guys. Oh, he can't be serious. I was always told I'd meet racier people in college, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. Distract me, daddy? Distract me, daddy? Really? I hate his face. He's fucking waggling his eyebrows like, yeah. You know what? Let's be daring. I look back to Quinn to see he's pulled out his phone. He flashes me a picture of a video game. Oh, fucking nope. Once you look, sometimes the first class is not that important, but you need to show up anyway because, you know, you want to leave a good first impression with your professor. It actually plays a good part. But at the same time, a lot of it is just session 0 for the course. Except math. Math always throws you in with a diagnostic test. Let that be known. Know your math from previous grades. You always get thrown into a diagnostic test, so then they could measure how much you remember, or if you're still gonna be managing the course all right. If you're not busy, I was gonna check out some books at the library. You've been pretty fun to talk to, so I was wondering if you'd want to go with me. I might have considered this invitation, but I already made plans with Aiden, and it'd be rude to flake within an hour of making those plans. Sorry, but I can't. I already have plans. No problem. I just thought to see if you would come with me. I'll see you around then, Rectal. Definitely. I watch as he walks out the door. He seemed a bit disappointed, but we share this class, so I'm sure we'll have other chances to get to know one another. I shoot Aiden a text to let him know my class is finished, and he sends me the address to the cafe. Looks like it's about a 10-minute walk. Hopefully they aren't waiting too long. What? Okay. Let's take a minute to look at this first. This scene is more well-designed than the bare-bones bedroom, the bare-bones classroom, although you can't really expect much from a university classroom. And the field so far. This is the most detail I've seen in the game so far. And it looks really damn good. I'm impressed. I don't know how much of it is just 3D models that they threw an art filter on, but it looks pretty dang snazzy and cohesive. Hi, Guardian Spike. Just kidding. I'm not gonna put that as a fucking standard. Following the directions on my phone made finding the cafe a cinch. However, after looking around, I don't see them anywhere. Is it possible that I just beat them here? So I might as well order something and grab a table while I wait. Oh, hello, handsome panther. Elliot, I see. The barista at the front counter motions me over. I must look like an idiot, just leering from the front door. Getting closer, I can see that he's indeed a larger man, but his arms look sturdy and capable. His smile somehow seems warm, though for some reason his eyes keep flicking downward. No, I'm not. Check your pants! I'm just meeting someone here and was checking if they gotten here yet. I see. Well, the cute ones are always taken anyway. Can I get you a coffee while you wait? Yes, please. I'm not a huge coffee drinker, so I pick something uncomplicated sounding off the menu. After taking the money for my order, the barista proceeds to quickly whip my drink together. Meanwhile, I snag a nearby type. Should I fuck the barista? Wait, is this game complete? Hold on. Is this a complete game? I thought I got the demo. I'm pretty sure what I got was the demo. Ow! Oh, it's a full blow. Alright, here's what I'll do. I'll finish one entire route for the game. After taking the money for my order, the barista proceeds to quickly whip my drink together. Meanwhile, I snag a nearby table. It's only after I'm sitting down that it dawns on me. Did he just call me cute? I mean, he's not so bad looking, so now that I'm thinking about him. He definitely seems to have an air of maturity about him, although that might just be because he looks a few years older than me. Order for rectal? Oh, I would love a rectal. Snapped up my days. I see that the barista man I was daydreaming about is standing before me with my drink in hand. Aren't customers usually supposed to get up and get their coffee? Usually, but today's a slow day and I could use a break. I hope you don't mind. Actually, fuck it, I'm dating the barista. Not at all, I guess I should be flattered you're choosing to spend it with me then. Oh. So then I guess you should know the name of my esteemed coffee brewer. It's Elliot. It says right here on my apron. Is the font too small? He begins fumbling with his apron as if concerned the stitch work wasn't done adequately. Oh, you're right, not sure how I didn't notice that before. It's fine. For all you know, I could have been wearing somebody else's apron. So this friend you're meeting, are they somebody special? Oh my god! At first, I pondered what he might be meaning, but my thoughts are immediately spelled by his tail lightly caressing my leg. I'm not even sure I should be answering this question right now. For now, I'm keeping my options open. Interesting. That's certainly a practical way of doing it. So then, pray tell, what are you looking for in a partner exactly? I want to be I want someone to pile drive me into the pavement. That's what I want. I want the pile driver. I want the jackhammer. I want the mallet. Does this feel dangerous? Something about his eyes staring at me. It's like if I say the wrong thing, I could find myself in a truly precarious engagement. Oh honey, you better get precarious with me. Although maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, well if you don't mind me asking, then how do you feel about older... There you are! Apparently suddenly Zoe interrupts our conversation, pulls me into a hug. She surely is friendly considering we just met today. I hope you weren't waiting long. Ran as fast as I could, though I see you've already met Elliot. Hopefully he hasn't made you too uncomfortable. That's ridiculous. I'd never make anyone uncomfortable. Really? Because I recall a certain musclehead almost decked you for coming on too strong. The art of flirting is all about timing and targeting. You have to recognize who won't appreciate it, and who will. Elliot rubs his tail against my leg one more time before drawing it back to his side. The panther's attention finally shifts off of me and back to Zoe. But enough about me, Zoe. It's good to see you. I had no idea Rectal was a friend of yours. We met today at the campus. I'm his RA. Right, you're always busy with the extracurriculars. I hope you at least have a good time visiting with your family before coming back. It was okay. I might tell you about it some other time. Totem looked towards me briefly and it suddenly feels like I'm intruding on a private conversation. I'm not even sure how to break the ice on this sudden awkwardness. Luckily, due to a wolf in shining... due to coming to my rescue, I won't have to. Son of a... I want to date the panther, but the wolf is looking mighty fine. I'm not a furry. I see, we both are here already, though I don't recall Elliot being invited to your little get-together. Oh, you wooed me, Aiden. Here I thought we'd become good friends. Come on, Aiden, what are the odds that Elliot wasn't going to be here? I agree, though I still think he should probably return to behind the counter. I'm still unsure what kind of establishment you're trying to run, but your employees are liable to slack off if they keep seeing their boss engaging in chit-chat more often than working. Sorry, Ellie, the grump is having a bit of a rough day. The large panther sighs before removing himself from his seat. He motions for the two to go ahead while he trudges back towards the counter. It was a bit rude. Sorry, I just have a bit of a headache. It's just easier for me to keep my head on within a smaller crowd. I'll apologize to him later. You have to forgive Aiden, he's an introvert. Aiden simply chuckles at this while Panda continues to explain away his rudeness. Today was exhausting for him after being around all the people from the club fair, so it's just better for him to be around fewer people so he can recharge. I guess I can understand that, though I'm not too sure why you'd want to get coffee then. I value a routine, and we get coffee every Monday and Friday. Regardless of how I'm feeling, I have no desire to deviate from that. He gets pretty anal if... I guess you could say he gets pretty rectal if something knocks him off schedule. But enough about Aiden. Tell us about you, Rectal. Okay, anything specific? What's your zodiac sign? Really though, we're starting with astrology? We can't all be a skeptical Aquarius like you. That's why you have your favorite Aries friend to balance you out. He rolls his eyes at this and they both look at me as if waiting for me to answer. I'm not overly into astrology, but I'm pretty sure I'm a Cancer. Not that there is much to be interested in, it's all just nonsense appeal to tribalism. The incessant need to belong to a group. It's not even remotely scientific, yet some people still put stock in it like it's gospel. There was a guy I met by sophomore year that lived exclusively through his horoscope readings. If only you spoke this passionately all the time, then people might not think you're such a stick in the mud. Unlikely. I'm reminded constantly by one of my employees of how much of a drag he is. Surprised by the sudden addition to the conversation, I turn to see Elliot looming over me with Aiden and Zoe's drinking orders. He looks down at me with a smile warmer than the coffee he's serving. Yes, well, I'm sure you know how much I value the individual opinions of that particular employee. Well, if you tried a bit harder, others might hold a better opinion of you. I'd rather not project a false image when I'm supposed to be spending my time in leisure. I spend enough of my time doing that for business affairs. Business affairs? I'm frequently negotiating deals with several affiliates of my father's company in the local area. Though I also consider any involvements at the university to be business affairs as it's a matter of maintaining a public image. It's not that hard. He represents the company whether he's on or off the clock. So you have a job alongside school? Aiden's father is the CEO of a major tech corporation. He just runs point for a lot of contacts around Elmwood. So if you already got such an important job, why even go to college? Because my grandfather was in one of the earliest graduating classes from Elmwood. My father followed in his footsteps, and I'm doing the same. After getting a degree, I intend to transfer to an Ivy League school for my higher education. It's impressive and I really can't... So, for your masters. This wolf really seems to have it all figured out, meanwhile I'm just running around without a clue of what I'm doing. Though the more I talk with Aiden, the more that princely vibe I got before it shifts towards an entitled tone. So, Rectal, I've got a slightly more intrusive question. I'm currently working on a bit of a theory. Sure, go for it. Are you gay? Pretty out of nowhere. What's this theory for? Don't worry about that. It's just a harmless curiosity, really. I've got a theory myself that so might be into me, but I guess this is the golden ticket to make things clear on that front. I am, though I'm a bit curious of what that theory of yours is. Huh? What are the odds? Sorry if that was too personal, though I won't lie that I'm excited to have another gay friend. She laughs this off, though I get a bit curious looking over to the wolf on my right. Do I even dare ask? Must have been looking at him for too long because Zoe answered the question that was on my mind. Aiden's gay too if you're wondering, and hopelessly single. So that's not at all appropriate. Hopefully Aiden is the 21st. It shouldn't be such a taboo conversation. Besides, isn't honesty the best policy in business? That's quite rich considering. Fine, if we're being completely transparent, I'm indeed bi. I'm hopelessly single, as Zoe puts it, because I've never considered romance a priority. Not that she'd understand, given she's never been outside of a relationship since I've known her. Oh, great. Before that, they'd known each other for years, and I can't help but question how they couldn't have possibly tried to kill one another in that time. Thankfully, the argument eventually ends thanks to an interjection by Elliot. Hey gang, as much as I appreciate your business, I need to close up a little early today, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to need you all to pack it up. Oh, that's alright. Is everything okay? Yeah, I just gotta get some things from the ex. You know how it is. Right, well, if you need anything, just let us know. Of course, and thanks for stopping by. Rectal, it was very nice meeting you, and I hope you come back again sometime. Oh, definitely, I didn't get to try one of those mini cakes you have on display, so I'll be back for sure. I'll hold you to that then. Take care. He then returns to the register with Aiden following him to pay for the drinks. Hey, listen, this was kind of fun even though it ended up running a bit short. Aiden and I actually need to split in a little while anyway, errands and all that. Seriously though, if you ever need anything, just let me know, especially if you want to hang out again. Sure, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The two of us exchange numbers before shuffling out of the cafe. Aiden and Zoe get in a very nice car and wave goodbye before driving away from the university. I look behind me and take in the cafe for another moment before taking my leave. I'm definitely tired after today. My cozy bed beckons me home. The walk back to the dorm turns out to be quite brisk. Elliot's coffee must have put a pep in my step because in no time at all I'm back in my dorm room. I just realized, how many hours would this usually cover? Because it depends for me. Average session's about a half hour. First thing I do is collapse in my bed. The cozy linen sheets embrace me like a newborn cradled by the support of a cheap mattress. Dreamland awaits me. Just gonna save here. Why is my phone going off? Hey, Rectal. Was pretty cool having coffee with you. I was wondering if you're free tomorrow. Consider it cashing in on paying for your coffee. I didn't realize the coffee came with a sturdy enough price tag to warrant Zoe whisking me away. I have half a mind to tell her off, but getting into an argument with my RA and new friend shortly after getting here wouldn't exactly benefit me. I don't currently have plans. Hopefully I won't regret this. How about we meet at the cafe tomorrow? I'm thinking around noonish? Sure, sounds good. I sent a confirmation message and set my phone to the side. Maybe going to the cafe with Zoe and Aiden will become a regular thing. I could have sworn that said they only went to the cafe on Mondays and Fridays. Aiden seemed pretty cool at first. I'm sure he's not a bad person, but he seems a bit excessively posh. Still can't help but respect his focus. He really seems like he has everything worked out. Meanwhile, I'm just floundering as I try to figure things out. I toss and turn in an effort to regain a comfortable position. My brain has been turned back on and is now just replaying the events from earlier today. Quinn is an Energizer bunny, but I'm not sure if I can keep up with him all semester. He definitely strikes me as a handful and a half. Cafe was surprisingly nice. Elliot was very sweet. I'm not sure how I feel about his flirting though. Even less sure if he was being serious or if he was just teasing me. I need to get these thoughts out of my head and get to sleep. There will be plenty of time to think about them in school tomorrow. Day 1, August. Day 2, September 1st. Just 5 more minutes, Mom. I was futile the moment my phone began going off. As much as I want to return to the wondrous dreamland I was in before, the accursed sounds from my phone forced me into this horrible and groggy reality. Disappointment I feel is unsurmountable when I see that it's just Zoe texting me a reminder that I'm supposed to meet her at the cafe today. Still a few hours away. I really think I could have done without the reminder. My alarm isn't set to go off for another hour too. I'm awake now though. My head is buzzing with enough activity that I know I won't be falling back asleep. I should be thankful she sent a text instead of letting herself into my room to remind me. Not that I was likely to forget. I've got another class this evening, but I didn't have any plans beyond that. With a few more hours to kill, I guess I've got time to do something before I get to meet Zoe. I could check out the gym. It might be worthwhile seeing what they have in case I find the motivation to exercise. Plus, there's bound to be some kind of eye candy. I could also head to the cafe. I could probably sneak in a conversation with Elliot while also getting a dose of caffeine in my veins. Although I could also be less proactive and just stay in my room and play on my phone for a couple of hours. Might even be able to sneak in some more sleep if I try hard enough. Let's try the gym. Even if I don't have the energy to go every day, it doesn't hurt to know what my options are for exercise. I look at the map on my phone and it looks like fast ways by cutting through the main campus. And looking at I don't think I'd mind saying hi to Aiden. I think I'd rather avoid the crowds of the club fair and just cut around. As I move toward the door, my hand reaches out towards my jacket, but then I recall how hot I was yesterday. Probably better off without it. Finding the gym was a lot harder than I thought. For one thing, there are multiple exits to the gym, but only one entrance. The entrance is not well labeled at all. I almost decided to give up and go home before someone passing by pointed it out to me. I'm actually a little impressed once I got in. Unlike the outside, the interior looks well maintained. The paint on the walls looks surprisingly fresh, and some of the equipment looks like it's barely been used. A large hyena mans the front desk. At least it would be if he wasn't jamming out to some song blasting through his headset. I want to ask him for a quick tour or explanation of how things are here, but anytime I try to grab his attention, he just points to a sign and sheet on the counter. I'm better off looking for someone else to show me around. I scan the room hoping to see someone who looks approachable enough. My eyes are drawn to a particularly imposing figure, a tall buck with perhaps the most impressive set of muscles I've ever seen. Say he stands out would be an understatement. His eyes are pointed to the wall while he curls a barbell. It looks like it's at least 100 pounds, maybe 2. The veins on his arms seem to almost pulse with each rep, and I can almost see the beads of sweat sliding off him from here. He turns to see me gawking at him like some kind of peeping Tom. His face shifts into a scowl, clearly not pleased to have an audience. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Sorry, just thought that what you were doing looked difficult. You're saying you don't know I don't know how to lift? No, you look very experienced. I was just impressive, that's all. deciding whether he wants to smash me with his fist or crush me with his huge biceps. Actually, please, crush my head with those biceps. His expression eventually relaxes, as if deciding I wasn't worth the effort of flattening. Never seen you around here before. You're either new or you don't go to the gym much, which makes sense with scrawny arms like those. It's true that I'm basically a toy compared to this Goliath. I never thought of myself as scrawny before. Then again, I guess being in a coma for 2 years tends to ruin your physique. Yeah, I just started here this week. I was hoping someone could show me around, but the guy is too busy. I'm not sure if I could describe Dan as busy. Lazy is more like it. I find myself chuckling at this while the larger continues to glare down at me. Was he not trying to make a joke? I didn't catch your name. It's because I didn't give it to you. Right, so what's your name? Sorry, but I don't really have time for this whole get-to-know-you thing. Jeez. There was definitely a more polite way to end that, but something tells me he didn't really care about being rude. Some people, I swear. Don't mind him, he's just a sourpuss sometimes. Oh, it's a hyena. You know him? His name's Jude. He's a little intense, but I wouldn't take it too personally. Right. I'm not sure what's more annoying, the fact that some stranger just yelled at me or the fact that I don't get Dan's attention without making a small scene. So is he normally like that, then? Props. Hold on. It's not rare for him to get into somebody's face, but he's never gone physical. Honestly, I'm not sure where he could have gotten that scar on his face other than a fight. Anything else I should know about him? I didn't really see him here, so all I could tell you is how he acts around the gym. The guy usually keeps to himself. He's a regular then? Definitely. Comes in at least twice a week. He might come in more, but I only work a third of the shifts. If I'm trying to avoid Jude, stay clear of the gym then. Although maybe I'm judging him too quickly. Can't escape this feeling that there's more to him. I could ponder this another time though. If the clock on the wall is accurate, I should probably get going to the cafe. I made the walk to the cafe quick. As it turned out, there was a chilly breeze today, so the less time I spent outside, the better. I'm greeted with the familiar smell of cocoa in the cafe. Underneath that is the sweet smell of baked goods. I can see from here that there are donuts and muffins warmly glistening behind a small display window. I walk up and ring the bell to the counter. Lucky for me, I'm not left waiting very long. Ah, Rectal, I thought I might see you again. Did you come here just to see little me? Afraid not, I'm meeting with Zoe here. His face crunches up for a second as if he thought of something unpleasant. His eyes meet mine once more and his face relaxes as if remembering I was here. You see, I suppose that must mean we truly are kindred spirits then. What do you mean? Better I leave the explanation for Zoe. Speaking of which, everyone's already waiting for you around the corner. Everyone? Oh, it's a fucking welcome party. You're here! Seemingly ecstatic to see me, the red panda bounds out of her chair over to me and pulls me into a big hug. You have no idea how awesome it is to have you joining us. I thought Aiden would be here, but I didn't realize there were gonna be others. Hey, don't stress it. I'm sure you'll get along great. Come on. Placing her hands on my shoulders, she proceeds to sit me down. Oh. Okay, everybody, this is Rectal, the guy I was telling you all about. Rectal, these are my friends who I wanted you to meet. To the left of you is Aiden, as you already know. It's good to see you again, Rectal, although I'm sure Zoe could probably have found a way to do this that was less uncomfortable. What is it that we're doing here exactly? Well, Hey, don't go stealing my bit, Aiden. The wolf slides back in his chair with a grumble. Hey there, stranger. Fancy meeting you here. Hey, Quinn. Have you two met already? We sat next to each other in my English class. I don't know how I didn't realize that your rectal was the same as my precious seed buddy. Right, well, whatever. Next to our favorite bunny boy is Jude, our brooding hunk of... You cannot catch a break. We've already met too. We certainly have, and I'm still undecided if that's a good thing or not, though maybe this little get-together is gonna illuminate Jude in a way that I can understand better. Well, you just seem to know everybody, if that isn't kismet. Really, so not again with this destiny crap. Hey guys, I hope I didn't miss too much of fun. Oh, this is just precious. Elliot pops up. seemingly out of nowhere with everyone's drink orders just in time to interrupt the increasingly tense moment. You didn't, Elliot, though I know I'm a bit late with it, but I hope you're being completely respectful to Rectal. You know, if you keep making comments like that, people are going to think I'm some kind of deviant. Well, maybe you are if you actually flirt with any guy with a pulse. It's a tough market out there, Zoe. You've gotta be active these days, especially at my age. I'm sorry, don't mean to be rude, but do you mind if I ask what's this all about? They stop around arguing, look at me. Elliot rubs the back of his head while Zoe just kinda shuffles her feet for a moment, her face scrunched up as if trying to think of what to say. Aiden looks around the room before giving her a nod. Okay, so I called you here because I was hoping you'd be willing to join our club. Like the university extracurriculars? Sort of, more like a support group. She stares at me as if waiting to see if I'm acknowledging what she's saying so far. What support group? Like college stress? No, more for unique dispositions. Oh! Oh, the dreams! Psychic connections, the dreams. What what happened to us? Oh! It felt like a good slice of life thing, and then I realized, oh shit, the plot, right? So he's just getting more on edge. It's probably better you just stop beating around the bush. Right, right. Okay, so Aiden, Quinn, Jude, Elliot, and I are all psychics. What did you just say? She's joking, right? She has to be. No sane person would say that with a serious face if they weren't joking. I'm a celebrity that's moved from the hills to live a quiet, normal life. I'm telling you the truth. The only reason I'm telling you this is that I was hoping you'd be willing to join us because of your own psychic abilities. You're all crazy. Holy crap, this is seriously another cult trying to recruit me? He doesn't believe you, Zoe. What, you trying to be a mind reader or something? Not exactly. Aiden's an empath. He can feel your emotions reading off of you. He knows whether you're comfortable, scared, or even hungry. You mean he feels your emotions and applies his own psych bullshit interpretations. Do you want to start another altercation with me right now, Jude? Yo, hold up. Stag looks like he's about to fling the whole table, his hands clenching as he grasps the edge firmly. Thankfully, Quinn places a small hand on his shoulder and his grip loosens. No, I won't be doing that anymore. I really wish you two could at least try to get along. You're actually serious, aren't you? You actually believe that you are all psychics. This is crazy and you're all nuts if you think I'm gonna buy this. I'm leaving. I move to stand up, but I find myself stopped by a soft hand placed over mine. Listen, Rectal, I know it's probably a lot right now. Oh yeah, what are you reading my emotions to? Quinn has premonitions of the future, actually. It's why I decided to stick next to you in that boring English class. I knew we'd be seeing more of each other, so I thought I'd use that chance to get to know you better. Hypothetically, if this guy can see the future, I would at least explain why he was acting so friendly with me. Or Zoe told him about me, which is why he sat next to me. That would be a more likely explanation. Problem is, I'm still not sure what their angle here is. Maybe I should keep playing along for now. It's a bit unnerving to think that most of the people I met over the past couple of days are literally insane, but at this point my curiosity is piqued. Okay, so what about big guy over there? He has acute precognition. He always knows what's going to happen. Isn't that the same as... It's not the same. Quinn has a vision of random things while I see things constantly. It might be easier to say Jude has really good reflexes. It's not reflexes, it's... I know. Ignoring how crazy this all sounds, there's something consistent with all these psychic powers. You know, so far each of these powers has been unprovable. You're just saying this and expecting me to just believe you? True, most of our powers can't be proven, though if you need proof, that's where Elliot comes in. He steps forward, he looks to Zoe, who nods back at him. Taking a glance around the room, Elliot lets his eyes fall into the cup he put in front of me. Is he scrying? His eyes bore into the cup like he's... Oh, he's definitely scrying for the past. Nothing's happening. The cup slides across the table gently without anyone touching it, then it lifts ever so slightly off the table in front of me before gently returning to its original position. How did you do that? He's got telekinesis, you know, moving objects in his mind. Holy shit, this is legit. They're actually psychics. Am I going crazy? No, this has gotta be a dream, right? I reach my hand underneath the table, hoping to find some sort of magnet or elaborate device to explain what I just saw. Instead, all I feel are the balls attached to the base of the table at top. How am I even supposed to process this? She also thought I might be psychic, didn't she? I'd know if I was psychic, right? What am I even thinking? This is nuts. What am I supposed to even do in this situation? Rectal, are you okay? Yes? No? I don't know. Where's the bathroom? Just past the door on the right there. Thank you. Okay, that's just hyper-realistic bathroom. I closed myself into the stall. This is way too big of a revelation right now. Like, how the hell could this possibly be real? They must have slipped something in my coffee, or maybe this is some kind of elaborate scam. Or this is a really lucid dream. Maybe if I just close my eyes really tightly and focus really hard, I'll actually wake up in my bed. Just gotta wake up. If I picture hard enough, I can still feel the crappy foam mattress pressing forward awkwardly on my back. Vents are still making that light whirring sound that makes sleeping more difficult than necessary. I'm going to open my eyes and I'll be in my room. Psychics aren't real and they aren't currently trying to recruit me into some sort of voodoo cult. Shit. Okay, calm down. What do I even do? There are five psychics sitting in the cafe waiting for me to come out of the bathroom. You okay in there? Yeah, just need a minute. Of course, he isn't okay, Zoe. You saw how he looked. Besides, I can feel his nerves from out here. I guess they're standing outside the bathroom. I need to get out of here. I don't want to go through them, though. Is there a window I can climb through? This is a windowless bathroom. And unless I was trying to crawl through the vents, there's no way out of here except through the door. Even if there's another way out, so's my RA, and I share a class with twins, so it's not like I can just avoid them after this. What did I tell you? This was too much of a rush. Sounds like the others are conversing just outside the bathroom door. I'm not sure if they're actually trying to be quiet, but they're doing a terrible job of it. I have to, I have to agree. Shouldn't you have given him some more time to adjust to Elmwood? I don't know if he was aware of his abilities yet or not. I had a good feeling about him. I just didn't expect him to freak out like this. Are you even sure that he's one of us? Have I ever been wrong before? Besides, Quinn already saw the end result. Even if we're in a rough patch now, it's going to work out. That's true, but I don't know for certain when it's going to work out. I mean, you saw his face. He probably thinks we're a bunch of freaks now. Oh no, that made me guilty. I'm freaking out over this huge revelation, but they're all still people. I should at least be hearing them out, not dodging them in the bathroom. Maybe I'm overreacting. It's not like any of them have done anything particularly egregious to me. Sure, it's a lot, but I should be able to at least tough it out until there's some more natural way for me to exit the situation. I steel myself for more of those other psychic's weirdness and force myself out of the safe confines of the bathroom. I can see that the others look far dourer than when I'd left. Jude is the first one to notice me. His eyes lock onto mine with that same intensity. Okay, hold on. Alright. Intensity as always. You sure took your sweet time in there. I'm sorry, I was just a little freaked out. It's probably a lot to wrap your head around, but hopefully you're at least calm enough to hear us out. He nudges Zoe, who looks back towards me with a sullen expression. She clears her throat before proceeding. Look, I'm sorry if we made you uncomfortable. I figured I'd done this enough times that I had it all figured out. You've done this before? Yeah, it's sort of my thing. I find other psychics and help them meet others just like them. Though when I meet other psychics, they're usually at least aware of the existence of your abilities. Yeah, I know you seem to think I'm psychic or whatever, but I really think you've made a mistake. Trust me, she has a sixth sense about this kind of thing, literally. They come in all shapes and sizes. Yours might just be something smaller that you've never noticed before. Nothing really comes to mind. How exactly do you even figure something like that out? It varies from person to person. Some are simply born with their gifts, meanwhile others manifest after some sort of triggering event. Magnitude varies as well. Some find their uniqueness quite apparent, possessing unignorable abilities that nobody else seems to have. In other situations, it can require more careful observation to discover one's capabilities. Exactly, like when I was little, I had no idea some of the things I dreamt about were actually visions of the future. So when I saw some of the things I dreamt about happen, I was scared and confused for a while. Guess I'd be a little freaked out if I could see the future, though hey, at least you never get surprised by pop quiz, right? If only if it were that simple. I tried to read the rabbit's expression to see if I'm just missing something. The confusion on my face must have been obvious because Jude chimed in. Quinn can't choose when he has premonitions, or what they're about. The whole point of this was supposed to be to figure out how to manage all this psychic crap. Is that the case for all of you? Pretty much. Welcome to the club. The deer scowls as he slips back in his seat, expressing a rare show of defeat. It's been a little rough. Thankfully we have each other to lean on to make things easier. It hadn't really occurred to me that they might not be happy with their own situation. Normally in any of the stories I've read, having basically superpowers had little to no downsides. But if they don't really have control of them, that'd just be a world of inconvenience. How haven't they been caught up or uplifted by some secret government organization yet? I think I can almost understand the urgency include me. How many people could they even talk to about this? Must be hard. It is sometimes. It has been difficult in different ways for all of us, but we're making the most of it. More than anything, Rector, we're just hoping you'll be open-minded enough to join us. Even if you don't realize it yet, sooner or later you'll discover what your psychic ability is. We can help you when that time comes. We'll be a part of it. So what would I need to do? Sign some sort of blood oath or something? What? No, you just join us for our meetings, that's it. Occasionally we might try to do something together as a group. What Zoe meant to say that on occasion she will force us together into various uncomfortable activities. Oh, come on, it's never been that bad. Please, I had a sunburn for weeks after that beach expedition you put us through. I thought it was pretty memorable. I'd never been to the beach before. Exactly, Quinn gets it. Outside of a little sunburn and Jude being too much of a grump to go swimming, it was a blast. I told you I didn't have a good pair of trunks for the beach. Crazy as it sounds, I agree with Aiden. It was a dumb trip. Crazy as it sounds. It was a dumb trip. I'm so sorry you feel that way, Jude. To think I'd convinced myself to have enjoyed collecting all of those seashells. Yeah, well, not like there was much else to do. Aw, I wish the music would shift at this point. There we go. I can't believe my timing. Strange, I wasn't sure if they were even friends before, but now they're all bantering like they've known each other for ages. I feel less tense, and the previous revelation of their supernatural abilities had never even happened. Maybe that's why they really spend time together, because it's the only time they feel normal. They aren't necessarily bad people, they're strange, sure, but everyone has their quirks, plus if Zoe's right about me, then maybe it isn't the worst idea to join them. Though that small voice in the back of my head telling me to get up and leave hasn't quite gone away yet. Alright, sure, I think I get it. Huh? I might not be sure about all this psychic business. In fact, I still think it's pretty crazy. Despite that, you haven't given me much reason not to believe you. I'm hoping you can give me a bit more time to adjust to all of this. Of course, Rectal. In that case, without further ado, welcome to the Psychic Concord. Concord? It's Zoe's word of the week, which means a few different things, but she's using it as a synonym for friendship. What's the point of using complicated words like that? Just say what you mean. Some people can't be as direct as you, Jude. Sounds like another mug broke. What do you mean? The sound of something shattering could be heard from the kitchen area. Large Panther simply sighs, shaking his head in disappointment. You know, that girl's far too ditzy for her own good. Either fire her or keep her out of your kitchen. Aiden, as much as I value your input, I hope you'll leave the management of my cafe to me. As fun as all this was, I'm afraid I have to get back there, Jude. Jude, do you think you'd be willing to put in an extra shift? Oh, he works here. Oh, part-time, but I'm always picking up a shift here and there when Elliot needs me. I can't even picture the big buck working in the service industry. The thought of him greeting customers with a large smile. No, I can't imagine. You know what kind of service I want from that? Nope, we're not. I gotta stay calm for that. Jude excuses himself and follows Elliot to the kitchen. Then there were four. I'll dearly miss Jude, but I'm excited to talk with you more, Rectal. Was that a pun? Aiden rolls his eyes so hard I think they might roll back into his skull, meanwhile Zoe simply shakes her head. Based on their reactions, this might be a regular occurrence. It's possible that Quinn might simply be a terrible joke enthusiast. Or at least I would be, but honestly this might be good timing. I actually had something else I need to take care of today. What do you mean? When I texted everybody you said you'd be free today. Yeah, I am. Provided I skip class to be here. It's the first week of the semester, you're already skipping class, Quincy. I told you not to call me that! Somehow it's even more intimidating when considering I've rarely seen him without a stupid grin across his mug. It would seem he gets triggered by someone saying his full name, though I'm not sure why. Please, I'll go now, okay? I was just excited, and I figured it was another introduction. I would have seen the instructor later to get the syllabus. You can't be skipping class, Quinn. What if an actual emergency occurs and you need those days? Easy, I get it. It's not for another hour. I'll be able to make it no problem. Well, I'll probably go faster if we get going. You're going too? I have to get preparations started for cleanup after the club fair. We don't know when the frat wave will pass through this time around, but we have to be prepared for those Neanderthal pledges. If it's such a problem, couldn't you just report it? We have, however, for some asinine reason, the dean refuses to do anything. He stated the fraternities were just living out their youth. It's absurd, but there's nothing more I can do. Well, about you, Rectal? Everyone seems to be going their separate ways. What are you going to do? I do have class later today, but I don't have to head back quite yet. I could stay here, maybe see how Jude acts at work, actually try some of the baked goods and chat with Elliot. I could also head to campus early with Quinn and Aiden. It never hurts to be early to class. I'll stay at the cafe. I'll just stay here. I've been meaning to try some of the baked goods. Well, I'll keep you company then. It's still fun to drink coffee alone. Suit yourself, let's go with Quinn. Okay then, what do you call a wolf in sheep? Fucking shut up, Quinn. To be fair, I've never heard that joke before. I suppose I'll never hear the punchline to that one. Zoe hums to herself as she watches them go. Eventually she turns attention towards me. So you're really alright with all this? I mean, I won't pretend it isn't weird. It totally is. I guess it's just the more I think about it, the more I normalize it. It's not like it changes who we are as people, though it does help explain some of the weird behavior. Well, I'm probably the most normal of the bunch, so I hope I can help make transitioning into our little family easier. She's probably been one of my biggest causes for concern, ironically. Before I can comment on this, Elliot returns with a small rag in hand. They say this game was roughly average 30 minutes, but it's already been an hour. Hold on. This one is psychic. Oh, you're both still here. I was coming back to clean the table. I heard Quinn and Aiden leave and just assumed. I've been dying to try one of the mini cakes you had, so it seemed like it would be worth staying. Plus, I have to admit, I was a bit curious how Jude acts while he's working here. Well, Dad, I'm sorry to disappoint, but he's mostly the same. But enough about Jude. Other than a mini cake, what can I get you? Rectal, have you tried the maple cinnamon latte? I can't say I have. Ooh, I highly recommend it. I'm paying anyways. Oh wait, sorry, wrong person. I highly recommend it. I'm paying anyway, so let me treat you. I won't say no to a free drink. Gotcha, 2 maple cinnamon lattes and an extra sweet mini cake. I think we can do that. I'll send Jude over with all the that shortly. Thanks, Elliot. So anyway, tell me a little more about your... She pulls it out and her smile quickly falls into a frown. Sorry, apparently Aiden and Quinn got into an argument. I have to go and mediate. Is that normal? Unfortunately, Aiden tends to have very strong opinions. Despite being able to understand the feelings of others, he has a tendency to not mince words. Anyway, I'll text you later. Sure, I hope everything's okay. She gives a small smile before turning to rush out the door. I'm left alone when Jude returns with our drinks. Can I have my drink with extra boba? I mean booba? I mean boba? I mean booba? I mean boba. She had to chase around after Aiden and Quinn, something about setting an argument. Settling. Jeez, what a pain. The hell am I supposed to do with her coffee then? You could dump it out or drink it yourself. Nah, I've been trying to cut back on the stuff. Anyway, I'll just leave it here in case she comes back or if you end up drinking it. As he places drinks, Jude looks around the room before returning his gaze to me. Sorry, by the way. Pardon? Sorry, for being an ass before. I didn't realize he'd be joining our little circle, and I don't think neither of us want to start on the wrong foot. Aww. Didn't expect him to even recognize he'd made a poor impression. Don't worry about it, I didn't take it too personally. That's good. I know Quinn likes you a bit, and he's usually a good judge of character. So even though you're a freak like the rest of us, I'm sure you're not all bad. Oh geez, don't put it like that. Anyway, I've got more work to do. Enjoy the cake and coffee. He walks away and I left alone with my thoughts. I'm not sure how to feel about Jude calling me a freak, but then I guess he thinks of himself a freak too. Seems like everyone has been dealing with this for years now. Despite that, it's possible he hasn't come to terms with it. If he still hasn't come around to the idea, how can I expect to? I grasp the mug in front of me and then take a small sip, confirming the maple cinnamon latte is aptly named. The warm flavor stands pleasantly across the tongue. The delightful drink pushes darker thoughts away, though I find myself wishing I had some company. I turn my attention over to the front of the cafe where Jude and Elliot are working. I realize now that Jude doesn't really interact with most of the customers. Instead, he cleans the tables and dishes and restocks the baked goods. Meanwhile, Elliot mans the register and greets the customers. On a few occasions, I see the squirrel they're working with almost drop something. However, time and again, I see Jude catch it just in time. Your shift seems to be going swimmingly, but eventually my attention is drawn away by a couple at another table arguing loudly. I know what I saw, don't you fucking lie to me. I'm not lying, why don't you ever listen to me? Maybe if you hadn't already cheated on me, I'd be able to find a way to believe you. Drama alert. I know some people break up in a public place to avoid making a scene, but this seems like the opposite. I don't have to take this, I'm leaving. Get back here, bit. The man grabs his cup of coffee and launches it at the woman who had begun to walk away. Unfortunately for him, his intended target was shielded by the fast-acting deer surfacing a nearby table. Coffee lands just above the apron and seems to drip down his front. Jude grits his teeth, and I have no doubt that the boiling coffee couldn't have felt great. That's enough. Jude, get him out of here. With fucking pleasure. The deer grabs the abrasive man by the neck. The agitated male drops his mug in surprise, causing it to break on the floor. The man pounds on Jude's chest while the deer drags him out the front door, his partner following after them. I'm not sure what shocked me more, Elliot yelling or the crack that formed on the window next to me. Did Elliot do that, or was it something else? I feel like I'm being paranoid. After an awkward moment of silence, Jude returns to the cafe. Most of the patrons gawk at him while he moves into the kitchen. He seems to deflate as he goes over to where the couple was sitting, begins to clean up the mess they'd made. I'm not surprised his telekinesis could follow with his emotional state. I know it might not be my place, but part of me wants to help him clean that mess up, as well as ask about the window. Although I'm also curious about how Jude's doing. Hot coffee can seriously scald your skin. Oh, fuck. I have to choose who I take care of. It's really just everywhere, and I think I've got a couple questions I can't help but want to ask. Need a hand? The bent over feline looks up at me in surprise, clearly not expecting anyone to come over to help. Only if you're offering. I begin gathering the various pieces of broken ceramic scattered around the area while Elliot wipes up the floor with a few rags. Does stuff like that normally happen? Thankfully, no. We usually don't have customers like that. Even if we did, most of them have the common sense to take their personal business elsewhere. Sorry you had to see all that, though. Normally I pride myself on maintaining a calm atmosphere. Since that's bad, I've seen a couple different customers leave. Situations like that can't be good for business. But after seeing Elliot yell like that, I can't help but wonder if there's more to it. Can I ask you something a bit more personal? Sure, but if you're about to ask me on a date, I should let you know I have plans this weekend. Not what I was going to ask. I know, please ask away. This guy is where I'm starting to think he really does just have a one-track mind. When that whole situation unfolded, after he yelled, the window next to me formed a crack. That was you, wasn't it? The panther stops cleaning for a moment. He stares at the ground as if trying to decipher something. Would you believe me if I told you it wasn't? Might have been a few hours ago, but after seeing what you can do... The big cat sighs, he throws his rag into a bucket and sits down at the table we finish cleaning. Yes, that was probably me. Unfortunately, it's a common thing whenever I boil over. I do my best to keep my emotions in check so as to not needlessly break things. So does that happen every time you get mad? Usually it's something small like a coffee mug or a crack on a window. I've yet to break anything truly large, but he goes silent. I can tell this really bothers him. Hell, who wouldn't this bother? Having to keep things bottled up all the time, that'd drive most people crazy. Might surely have some way to, I don't know, relieve stress or something so it doesn't get to you. Oh, fuck off, Elliot. I do have one preferred method for stress relief. Ugh, I'm being serious here. So am I, but if you must know, I also blow off some steam by going to the arcade. The arcade? Well, unlike the youths of today, I still have smart devices for a majority of my childhood. I didn't have smart devices. Just how old do you think I am? I just didn't take you for the video game playing type. Oh, well, mostly I play skee-ball. I find it relaxing for the most part. Though I haven't really gone over since I broke things off with my ex. He was getting stuff from them, if I recall correctly. Do you mind if I ask? No, not particularly. It's been about a year now. Things were going great for a while, but then I started spending too much time with a work project. Decided to surprise him one night. Must have planned it well, because when I got to his place, all I found was a naked horse in his bed. Oh. I'm sorry, don't know what to say. Neither did I, so I just walked out. I got a few calls from the bastard that night, but I wasn't dealing with it. He got quiet for a few minutes, staring off into the side. I'm starting to regret prying, but it's obvious this still hurts him to think about. I find myself compelled to comfort him in some manner, but I have no idea what to say after that doozy of a story. Eventually, think about how often Elliot seems to touch others. I placed my palm over the hand he was resting on the table. Really, I'm sorry for bringing it up. It's fine, like I said, it was almost a year ago, so it's not as fresh as it was. Still, it was a shitty situation. I'm better off now, but I just hate that it had to happen that way. It's just the moving on part that's a little more difficult. I only recently started getting my stuff back from him. So why does that keep you from going to the arcade? Oh, it's dumb. We had a couple of dates there, so whenever I go, I tend to think about those moments. I guess that makes sense, especially if Elliot's trying to avoid emotional stress. The more I listen to his story, though, the more I feel bad for him. I thought Elliot had the best handle on things. I guess I could have assumed that because he's older. A small buzz on my phone. See, that's text from Zoe. It looks like she resolved the situation between Quinn and Aiden. Looking at the time, though, we should probably head back to campus. Not sure I should leave yet, though. I know that kind of look. Don't worry, I'll be fine. There's probably enough lamenting for now anyways. I should probably go check on Jude. Thanks for listening, Rectal. Really means a lot. You're such a tight, caring hole. Yeah, don't mention it. The big cat then excuses himself and heads into the kitchen to check up on Jude. Well, I'm a bit curious how he's doing myself. I know Elliot probably has it handed. Without a real reason to be here any longer with my class coming up, I should get going. I returned to my room for a few hours and I spent them just thinking about everything that's happened. Time seemed to fly by because I ended up having to rush to make it on time to my psychology class. But I wouldn't have missed much. It's just it's just session 0. Ever since I started playing D&D, I just call things session 0 if it's just the introductory. Other than that, it's just a discussion of a syllabus. The only person in the class I recognized was Dan, and he was already sitting next to other people. The others in the class looked pretty brain dead. Not that I'm any different though, maybe it's because my mind keeps being drawn elsewhere. I wonder if the instructor will ever talk about the psychological instincts some students have to tune out their professors. I can definitely understand why Quinn wants to skip the first day of a course. All I want to do is pack up and go. I can't stop thinking about how everything seems different now. I know nothing has actually changed, but I can't look at people the same way. How do I know that none of the other students in the class are psychic? Though for that matter, how do I know the other students here aren't aliens or androids? I think I'm starting to become a conspiracy nut job. Zoe texted me during class and gave me Elliot's, Jude's, and Quinn's phone numbers. I guess so that I'm able to contact anyone in the club. Beyond that, the class passed by uneventfully. Hopefully I'm able to enjoy it more when I have less on my mind. Dan already left, though I never had a chance to say anything to the big hyena. I'm not even sure he even noticed me, though. Well, a small part of me wants to do more with my day, I just feel too tired. I feel like I didn't do that much today, yet at the same time I know my brain is positively fried. With nothing else planned for today, it only makes sense that I head back to my room and get some much-needed rest. At home, sweet home. Oh, hold on, what did? Fuck, I feel a sharp pain pass through me as I stub my toe against the ladder of the bunk bed. Not sure I pulled that one off, but I suppose I've had ditzy moments. Damn, that hurt. I crawl up to the top bunk and pull myself beneath my warm blankets. Can't believe psychics are real. Makes me feel almost normal despite the whole coma thing. I guess I'm a psychic too according to Zoe. I wonder what it is that I'm supposed to be able to do. Look to the past? That's what I'm getting. You're able to recall your accident. She said that if I had to notice, I was probably something smaller. I guess if I really am psychic, I'll probably know when it happens. I'm surprised to see that Zoe added me to a group chat. I swear sometimes her timing of my thoughts makes me almost wonder if she can actually tell whenever I think about this stuff. Thought I'd add you to the group chat. The Concord. TM. Welcome, Rectal. Do you try to avoid using this channel later in the evening since some of us need a rest? Hi, Olo. Hey, everyone. So yeah, this is where we make a lot of our plans for meetings or other trips. Hopefully we haven't scared you off quite yet. Elliot, your caps lock is on again. It is? Sorry about that. Jude, are you still up? Yes. Why aren't you saying anything? I don't know. Oh god, is there anything more you wanted to discuss now that Rectal has joined us though? I didn't have anything else in mind, no? Okay then, I'll be muting this chat for the evening. Lol, okay boomer. Anyway, welcome Rectal, and I hope you'll be patient with all of us. I've got some stuff to take care of, so I'll talk to you all later. I flop my phone back down and consider sleeping, but somehow that brief conversation has got my brain turning once more. I've got a few more hours until I really need to get to sleep. Maybe I should text someone. Zoe's doing something, so I probably shouldn't disturb her. Guess I should try one of the guys. Perhaps it's more curiosity than anything else, but I want to know how a conversation with Jude go over the phone. Hey Jude, sup? Not much, how's it going? I hate this. Oh, no. Oh, this is gonna go fast. I've gotta fix this somehow. Did you end up doing more work after I left? No. Oh god. Yeah, keep trying, baby. You're doing great, sweetie. So how did you end up working for it? Anyways, he offered me a job. Well, duh, but did you apply for it? No, Zoe and Quinn insisted. Well, that certainly explains a bit. I can't imagine how Jude would have immediately jumped at the chance to work in the service industry. Well, do you like working at a cafe? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Elliot's a good boss. But customers... I agree. I agree, mate. Oh, precious, precious homeboy. There. Well, I imagine if you're in situations where people throw coffee at you on occasion, you're pretty unlikely to enjoy it. What do you do outside of work? Exercise? Anything else? Hang with Quinn. And that's it? Pretty much. You know you can send more than one or two word for responses, right? I know, so you're doing this on purpose. Yes. Any particular reason? Faster. He's giving me short replies because it's faster. Doesn't even realize how frustrating it is for others though. I guess I'll ask him why. Because of my ability. Oh. Always able to see ahead. It's easy to be in the moment if it's fast. I guess in a weird way that makes sense, I think. Though I do wonder if that's some weird excuse to be less involved in the conversation. I should probably give Jude the BOTD here. Is it easier if I send shorter texts too? No, I read fast. Also less likely to interrupt. I see. Well, it's good to know anyway. I thought I might have been bothering you or something. Nah, got on rest soon though. Let's go, I'll text you later then. Okay. Aww. I kinda like that conversation. It reminds me of my friend. For the Enigma. A good moment of enlightenment for the Enigma. Hopefully with more conversations, I can peel back those layers and really get to know him. Even though I should probably go to sleep, there will be more time to chat up with the others. I set my phone down and adjust myself into a more comfortable position. I let my eyes naturally fall. There we go. My eyelids begin feeling heavier until eventually... It seems you've become more aware of it now. I imagine it won't be long now. Hello? If there's a jump scare, I'm gonna piss myself. I think that's all the time My alarm's going off, right? I have a morning class. Can I even call it that if the sun isn't up? Alright, guys, this is all the time I have for today. Looks like this game is a lot longer than I expected. I guess the time that per session was actually for how many times people opened it or something? I don't know, it's just an estimate. This is gonna be a lot longer, but this looks like a really compelling game and it's really cute right from the start, and it actually has a pretty good premise. I'm curious where it's headed. I'm gonna probably devote more time to this. I just don't know if I should make it like a series. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of this one. This is gonna be a part of the 12 days of Yaoi that I'm doing. So I need to allot time to do more, especially in this goddamn household. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me out. I'm California Macky, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye for now. Ciao. Now, before we end, let's give huge thanks to Sebastian, Jan Van S, David S. Edwards IV, Louis John, CC Anthony, Darius Tan, Jeremy Shaw, Victor H., Dominic Ruiz, Rashid Watson, William Johnson, Sean Thomas, Stephen, Sam Amar, David Virtue, Ryder Evans, Yo-Yo Dre, Jerry52, Russell, Philip, Elizana, and everyone at the Sweet Sampler at the lower tiers. Thank you so much for your continued support. Without them and without you guys, I would not be here. So thank you so much. And this we're gonna try wrapping up this year with this big bang. All right.